Alright, Tony Khan, you can book your dream cross-promotional pay-per-view, but beware, it'll come with a terrible injury curse. That's bad, but it comes with a free Frogurt. That's good. The Frogurt is also cursed. That's bad, but it comes with your choice of topping. That's good. The topping contains potassium benzoate. That's bad. Can I go book the show now? New Japan is also cursed. I'm John Renton with my review of All Elite Wrestling versus New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door 2022. Highlights, lowlights, let's talk about all of it. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. The United Center in Chicago, Illinois was white hot for most of it. My fucking goodness. Except for two fucking drunk idiots that decided to fight each other and then also try to fight security. Goddamn jackasses. They should have been beaten and then left outside the goddamn arena to basically twist in the fucking wind. Fucking jackasses. Don't be stupid, stupid. That's all I gotta say. So anyway, Excalibur, Taz, and Kevin Kelly, the voice of New Japan Pro Wrestling, along with Chris Charlton on commentary. They brought JR out for a little bit. You know, the last few matches, that's really how they should utilize Jim Ross. And I love the fact Kevin Kelly was there to provide so much insight to the New Japan Pro Wrestling storylines. Hopefully more people check out New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's only like $10 a month, guys. I know that New Japan has its creative issues. Believe me. I mean, I've been subscribing to New Japan World for about the last, almost the last 5 years. And they've had their ups and downs. But when they're good and they're great, my fucking goodness, it makes me love pro wrestling. So, speaking of New Japan, they went all over the place here. They were all over the buy-in. We had 4 matches. We originally had 3, but Tony Khan said, fuck it, I want to add another one. But first, a match that was already announced. Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi taking on QT Marshall and Aaron Solo. Hey, Yoshihashi didn't trip on the steps and brain himself. Bonus! His bow staff's still more interesting than he is. I did like how Justin Robertson, the New Japan Pro Wrestling ring announcer, I couldn't pronounce his name. I'm sorry. Has glorious hair, though. They did the dueling announcements. The crowd was into it, and Goto and Yoshihashi got the victory. Good. I mean, obviously they should have, because there was no reason for QT and Aaron Solo to get a victory, and also QT without a beard is a crime in 10 states. Don't ask me how. And then an added match, literally last minute. Lance Archer versus Nick Comoroto. I can only imagine how this went. It was probably like that part in that Simpsons episode. Homer runs out of the shower at work at the nuclear power plant. Runs out, hello, you'll have to speak up. I'm holding the towel. Oh shit, we got to get ready for this. And then they do big man stuff, and Lance Archer gets the victory. It wasn't bad, but at least they got on the card, I guess. It was what it was. I like Lance Archer. Nick has potential. And then Connors is ready to break down the door. He's ready to break down the forbidden door. And then hopefully maybe install a better forbidden door so not so many people can sneak through it. El Desperado gets a pop, as he should. It is Shane Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee. Can they get along before they get it on? Because they're obviously going to break up soon, taking on El Desperado and Kanemaru. Loud Despy chants. El Desperado, one of my favorite wrestlers of the year by far. It's like FTR, him, Thunder Rosa, Okada. What a fucking, quartet that is. Well, I mean, not necessarily, I guess a tag team would count as one. Nevertheless, I'll get to FTR in a minute. Lee does get kicked by Swerve because they had a miscommunication. Oh no. We get a Centauri surprise. That's Kanemaru using the alcohol spit. Gets a roll up for 2. Swerve flies, hits a hell of a goddamn stomp. And then Keith Lee uses his tremendous BBC to put down Kanemaru 1, 2, 3. And they stay getting along for now. And then Hobbs and Starks knock them from the fucking crow's nest or whatever the fuck it is. I guess the balcony, the skybox, whatever. Well, Scorpio isn't there, so it isn't a skybox. And they compare themselves to Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Well, Swerve and Lee compared themselves to Shaq and Kobe. So anyway, it was what it was. And then Max Caster cuts a rap on the LA Dojo guys. You were probably in the dojo watching hentai. I don't know why that made me laugh. It did. I mean, I would say you experienced technical difficulties if you watched that. But nevertheless, LA Dojo guys, Alex Coughlin, Yuya Yamura, Kevin Knight, and the DKC took on Caster and the Gun Club. The Dad and the Ass Boys. Scissor me daddy ass, as Bowen says. Don't know why he says that. And even though it was like 2-on-4, the Billy Gunn, Billy, and Caster get the victory. All right, there we go. That was pretty much it right there. So anyway, it was cool to see Kevin Knight on this big of a show. Got to see him at some indie shows before he went to the LA Dojo. Really, really talented guy. So now it's Excalibur, Kevin Kelly, and Taz for the full show. Guest commentators join a little bit later. They cut right to a DraftKings spot. I don't know why that made me laugh. I know it's their sponsor. Let's hear it for the Judas, the insurrection god himself, Chris Jericho. Nope, not gonna get off of that. If you don't like it, too bad. So Kaza ni nare. Suzuki is out here with all these idiots, or with these two idiots. I get, well, three, because Ty Conte is there. Let me just say right now that Ty Conte and Sammy could leave AEW programming, and I would have no issues. They could take Jericho with them. Eddie Kingston, super, super over. And Suzuki, Jericho Anderson, and Sammy, with the Town Bicycle, as I'm calling her, taking on Eddie, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Umino. Shota Umino with Tanahashi-like hair and tights. The winning team gets the advantage of Blood and Guts, despite the fact only two of these guys are in Blood and Guts, but nevertheless, they had to add a stipulation. Geez, shock, the heels won. This match went way too long. It wasn't bad at first, even though Jericho's washed and can't fucking do anything. Wheeler Yuta went nuts with some Germans. Suzuki and Eddie had a chop fest. They did some good stuff. There was Suzuki chants. We get more melees. We got more melees than a goddamn, than war-torn Europe, for God's sakes. It was ridiculous. And we got more and more and stuff. It went on way too long. I don't think it needed. I think you could have cut 7 to 10 minutes off of this thing and it wouldn't have mattered. We got a Gotch pile driver, and then we got the Juice Effect 1, 2, 3. So there you go. Jericho's team won. And then the ROH ring announcer, Bobby Cruz. Not to be confused with Chris Cruz, because Bobby Cruz actually is beneficial to professional wrestling, not Chris Cruz. Fuck Chris Cruz. Fuck the fact that his mother gave birth to him. So anyway, Chris Coleman joins commentary because we need more And I like Caprice Coleman. Don't get me wrong. I love Caprice Coleman. I'm just saying you need to switch out some announcers here and there. You don't need to have 4 commentators. FTR gets a huge pop. FTR versus the Great O-Cobb, a.k.a. the Great O-Khan, and Jeff Cobb, and Rapagni Vice, Trent, and Rocky Romero. Winner-take-all match for the IWGP and the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. I didn't catch a guy's name. I apologize. Shout out to the guy that had Puruso. I always forget how to exactly pronounce that. Pro-choice. Good. That would make a great shirt. If you have a problem with pro-choice, get the fuck off my goddamn channel. Just saying right now. You support that whole Roe versus Wade being overturned thing, and you think this is going to be a benefit. No. It's not going to be a fucking benefit. Women deserve equal rights. So you can fuck off about, getting upset and the torches and everything and thumping the Bible and everything, that bullshit fairy tale book. So I'm off my soapbox now, assuming that any more religious zealots are watching this. I don't really fucking care. I'll run off every single one of you motherfuckers. Because you can have your opinions. I just don't want to hear them. So anyway, Dax hurt his shoulder, went to the back, and it was hopefully a kayfabe injury because he came out later. There was good pace. Dax came back out with his arm all taped up, and Cobb just with ridiculous strength. We got more good action. This is one that you definitely need to watch. It's hard to recount all the moves. We got a big rig, 1, 2, 3, and there you go. There you fucking go. We get, FTR winning the IWGP Tag Team Championships. So now they hold 2 tag team titles. Hopefully they beat the Bucks in the 3rd match and hold all the goddamn gold, as they should, because FTR is an actual good wrestling tag team, unlike the Bucks. I'll get to the Bucks here in a second. And by the way, Juice Robinson, who seems to have recovered nicely from his bout with appendicitis. That's good to see. Juice and Jay are backstage. I'm going to say right now, Bullet Club, I've stated my opinions. I'll stay here in a little bit how I feel. They cut promos. It is what it is. Crocodile Connor's entrance. Pac and Malachi make their entrance. Miro gets a pop. Miro versus Connors versus Pac versus Malachi. 4-way match for the inaugural AEW All-Atlantic Championship. To become the inaugural champion. And Miro goes nuts. Connors shows off his strength. We get a table out for no goddamn reason. Clark puts Miro through it. That was actually pretty nice. It's a trophy kill that gets broken up. Game over on Pac, but then the mist comes out. Malachi actually hit it, of course. And again, Miro's a big target, and you'd have to be an idiot to not be able to hit that. Get the armbar. And then the Black Arrow on Malachi. Brutalizer on Connors. Gets the victory. Pac wins the championship. Okay, bit shocking, but you know what? I'm not going to complain about that at all. It was cool to see. I was hoping Miro would win it. Maybe this means that Miro will be primed to possibly become the interim champion, the interim AEW champion, beat Moxley for it, even though they'd be hot potato in the title. Miro deserves it. Please, please, please. That being said, Connors was the only guy that was going to take the fall, and he did. Shivani comes out to join commentary because he has to talk about Sting! So Shingo makes his entrance, then Sting makes his entrance. Oh, no, he doesn't. Sting's not out there. Darby's out there, and then the Buck Club entrance, then the lights out, and Sting, in full jacket and everything, dives off the goddamn truss. That's what I call a truss fall. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just going to ignore that. So it's Los Stingonables de Japón. Stingonables. However the hell that goes. Good old Kevin Kelly saying that Sting, Darby, and Shingo against the Bucks and ELP with Hikuleo. Apparently, Hiromu was supposed to be part of this, but got a fever. Hopefully, he's all right. Maybe he was worried about traveling. Hopefully, Hiromu's going to be all right. Or Hiromu just said, fuck it, I don't want to be part of this. This is going to be overbooked nonsense. I get enough of that here. Okay. I've stated my opinions on the Bucks before, so I'm going to state them again. I've enjoyed some of their matches and even praised some of their matches in the past, and even have put an occasional match of theirs on my favorite matches of the year list for 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. I will continue to do that if they go above and beyond what they usually do, which is just video game wrestling, not wrestling, and it's just, super kick, high spot, and all that and everything, and people that like it, that's fine. They aren't even the best tag team in their own goddamn company. FTR is better than them in every conceivable fucking way, because they're actual wrestlers. The Bullet Club BS is just annoying. It's beyond passe at this point. There are people that like it, and that's fine. Shingo having himself for all these goofs. Nothing against ELP when he puts away the antics actually can be very, very good. Was involved in a match that I thought was fucking terrific against Robbie Eagles. Great goddamn 25-minute classic and the best of Super Juniors. Don't twist the nipples of Sting was a line actually said by Tony Schiavone. I remember when wrestling was taken seriously. This was just fucking ridiculous. And then Sting twists ELP's nipples. And then we get a Last of the Dragons on ELP 1, 2, 3. That's all I gotta fucking say about that. Also, I'm 3 guarantees about AEW shows. They're going to have a hot crowd. They're going to have some matches that really fucking deliver. And they're going to make every single fucking referee of theirs look goddamn ineffective. It's the best and worst aspects of WCW, ECW, and even like 90s New Japan and All Japan. You can get some really, really good goddamn stuff, and then you're going to get the overkill. And the overkill to the point where, wow, it gets rough. But it was nice that Shingo got the victory, and they're returning to Arthur Ashe Stadium for Dynamite and Rampage Grand Slam on July 22nd. That's cool. Can't wait to see that, and I wonder how they're going to draw it. Watch CM Punk come back suddenly, and then he faces off against Moxley. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't want to see that. I would, but I think Punk's going to probably be out until about August. So the former 2.0 and Jericho Aniston talked to Shota, and Jericho throws a fireball in his face because he's the Grand Wizard. No, I'm not going to forget that. The fucker donated a bunch of goddamn money to Trump, so therefore you got to have a little bit of racism in you to do that. So off my soapbox there. I'm just going to keep hopping on and off that soapbox. I will make sure that my audience is actually intelligent. I may have a small audience, but I will make sure that they are actually smart people. So, Thunder Rosa versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's Championship. And I mean that. I'm not doing that sarcastically. Good stuff. I fear Toni Storm might have gotten hurt during this. But Thunder Rosa, Toni Storm, shut up, take my money. Oh, wait, AEW already got that. Toni Storm's great. I love Thunder Rosa. What a fucking goddamn talent. She's fucking great. Feature her more, please. Feature her more. She's the women's champion. Feature her more than you do Jade. I'm just saying, because I like what Thunder Rosa brings to the table as far as promos, as far as matches. This is proof of it. Was it the absolute best women's match of the year? No. But was it a really good women's match? Absolutely. Was it up to the standards of what Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm can do? Yes. They did some good submission work. The crowd was split. I like the referee. Aubrey was there. I love Aubrey. There were strikes and slaps, some vicious goddamn slaps. There was a Fire Thunder driver for 2. There was a German on the apron where it looked like Tony might have gotten knocked out because I think she ended up not angling it right, and she was trying to protect Thunder Rosa, as you should. You should always protect your opponent, but it looked like Tony kind of had Rosa land on her own head. And then final reckoning because Thunder Rosa's taking inspiration from Dustin Rhodes because he's had an influence on her AEW run. 1, 2, 3. And I hope Tony's all right. It looked like she might have been favoring her arm a little bit. That being said, the women killed it. Very good job. JR came out to call these last few matches. Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy for the IWGP US Championship. So yeah, Stormbreaker for 3. And in the next match, I don't care. Look, I said my opinions about Ospreay. Personal stuff aside. Guy's peak year was 2019. Guy tries too hard to be a heel. Guy can do the moves. Guy can sell the moves. Guy pops right back up with unlimited energy. Orange Cassidy, seen it, the gimmicks, shit, it's not for me. And sure, some people liked it. If you liked it, fantastic. There was no way Cassidy was going to win. Ospreay won, but since Juice, who was up in the skybox, along with El Phantasmo and Hikuleo, Juice has not given back the IWGP US Championship because we just had to have people holding on. That title is cursed, by the way. It is what it is, and then Aussie Open comes out, and then Rapagni Vice shows up, and then suddenly Shibata shows up and just goes nuts, as Shibata is known to do. Shibata versus Ospreay, shut up and take my money. I'll be happy to pay for that. He gets a drop kick in the corner as Ospreay staring up at the spotlight. So yeah, that's my analysis of that match. Zack Sabre Jr. gets a pop, and who is his opponent? It's Claudio Castagnoli to a huge pop. It's the former Cesaro. Though he was Claudio Castagnoli, whatever. Claudio. He was Claudio for a while. I can always screw up that last name. Claudio versus Zack Sabre Jr. And it was almost over in an instant because Claudio blindsided him. I almost said he blindsided him. Pronouns, pal. And Claudio was motivated. Look, Claudio did, besides get a solid main event push for a while, really he did about everything as far as championship, well, as far as a big championship. He did some good stuff in WWE. They were just never going to let him get past a certain level, and that was obvious. And now he's here, being able to do what he wants to do. And I want to say right now, split his time between AEW and New Japan. If you have to put him on New Japan Strong, put him on New Japan Strong. If you have to, you can't put him in the G1, but just have him on shows. Split the time, keep him fresh. Do that with some other people. You can do some great shit with this. You can do some great shit with some of the roster to keep everybody fresh. And avoid having people on YouTube when they fucking shouldn't be. Zack Sabre Jr. is a fucking joy to watch. Great wrestling. This is a wrestling match broke out. Fucking amazing. There were heel kicks, an uppercut, and just great shit. There was Scorpion attempts, but Cesaro kept selling the arm. I was worried he actually really hurt his arm because considering all the injuries. And then we got the Ricola bomb. And Cesaro got the victory. Or Claudio, sorry. Gotta take a while for me not to call him Cesaro. Claudio got the victory. Good stuff. Good stuff. Great wrestling match. Really fucking enjoy it. That is the kind of shit that you should be doing. Let these two go, talents like this go out and wrestle. Zack Sabre Jr. is one of the best in the goddamn world, the best technical wrestler in the world, in my personal opinion. At least of the companies I watch. Now, there are some people that may disagree, and that's fine. So, we then get the entrances for the Fatal 4-Way for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. It's all about that boom, Adam Cole, baby. Hangman entrance, Okada gets a huge pop. And Okada is the true god of pro wrestling. Kazuchika Okada, the true god of pro wrestling, not Kenny Omega. Don Callis can suck a goddamn rotten egg. And also maybe not have women sign NDAs and maybe not be a goddamn creep. Allegedly. Jay White comes out with Gato, so expect Bullet Club antics. Shockingly, they kept those antics to a minimum. Okada versus Jay White versus Hangman Page versus Adam Cole, baby. Holy shit, chance. And there were some points where this match was pretty good. There were also points where the pacing was off on this. Can they get along before they all get on? Cole and Jay White would pair off, but then have tension. Same with Okada and Hangman Page. There were good moves during this. It was also to the point where I realized in this match, like a lot of matches in a lot of wrestling companies, Let's just do every move in existence multiple times, and that doesn't exactly make your match the best goddamn thing ever. That being said, there were some good suplexes. Okada doing his spot over the barricade. Stop doing the money clip, please. It's not very good. And then we get a buckshot. We get, that broken up. We get more moves and more reversals and stuff like that. There was a drop kick that I think hurt Adam Cole legit because he seemed really off after that. If it wasn't the drop kick, it was something just before. Because he goes for the ring. He hits a bunch of super kicks, but then he gets hit with the landslide, which actually that might have been what did it, even though Okada's safe. Goes for the Rainmaker. Cole collapses. And then suddenly Blade Runner to Okada, but then Jay covers Cole 1, 2, 3. And Cole almost kicked out, so I think Cole was pretty much knocked out. Hopefully he's all right. That was a little bit scary. A little bit flat, but then again, it's a Jay White match, so of course you're going to get a flat finish. So it is what it is. That being said, Cole was about the only one that could take the pin there. I mean, you could argue Hangman taking the pin, but Okada wasn't going to. He's going to be in the G1. They're going to build up to that match one more time, probably at Wrestle Kingdom. Maybe they didn't want to pin Hangman because they wanted to have Hangman take on Moxley at Wrestle Grand Slam. In fact, that's actually probably what they're going to do. Well, no, Grand Slam, because Wrestle Grand Slam was actually in New Japan. Nevertheless, hopefully Cole's all right. I mean, apparently he walked out under his own power during the recaps, so there you go. So a Wild Death Rider thing appears. It's the beginning of Death Rider, the theme for Mox in New Japan, and then Wild Thing, You Make Chicago Sing. Tanahashi makes his entrance, go Ace, and it's Moxley versus Tanahashi for the interim AEW World Heavyweight Championship. At Big Fight Feel, Mox targeted the knees of Tanahashi, while Tana targeted Moxley's knee. There was some good stuff, a nice clover leaf done by Moxley. The crowd was a bit split. Of course, there were some jackasses that decided to become fucking idiots and try and make the show about them. So I want to say once again, hopefully the police took care of them, because that's exactly what should happen to drunk fans there. Like, yeah, you can be drunk and you can be a bit loud. You want to be that rude or whatever. You don't deserve to fucking be in polite society, in my personal opinion. Stop drinking. How about you stop fucking drinking if you can't handle your goddamn liquor, you idiots. So anyway, so Moxley was bleeding because it was the day that ends in Y. Of course he's fucking bleeding. I like Mox. I just don't think he needs to bleed all the time. Paradigm shift for 2. High fly flow hits, but he bounces off of him. Can't quite cover. 1, 2, no. Bulldog choke. And then a huge lariat, but just for 1. Oh no, Tanahashi's firing up. And the crowd was split. They were booing. I think they were booing because they didn't want the match to end. I'm not exactly sure. But then we get the Death Rider. 1, 2, 3. And then a handshake afterwards. Moxley is the new AEW interim heavyweight champion. And then suddenly Jericho, Garcia, and all the people for Blood and Guts, including Claudio, run down and do a whole thing and everything. And then Claudio does the swing dealy. And that's how it ends, with a plug for Dynamite. I understand that they're trying to weave this stuff together, and you have to do something to close it. I don't know. I just, the run-in stuff and the aftermath, I already see enough of it on Dynamite. That was kind of a flat ending. It was expected ending, but it was also a flat ending. There were some good things to the show. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.